Hey y'all, my name is Shannon Ray. We back! If this is your first time tuning into my channel, I just want to offer you the sincerest salutations. We come together each week and we discuss life, love, the pursuit of purpose. We discuss trying to be better. We discuss our mistakes, our setbacks, our obstacles, and we encourage each other to be better. Not perfect, but always better. I would highly suggest you hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because the algorithm likes to play games, okay? Not here for the games, okay? I skipped school for recess. I'm just kidding. I actually really miss recess. When did that stop? Why did that stop? Well, maybe they traded it in for a lunch break. You know how when you're a little girl, you kind of think about what your life is gonna look like. You think about where you'll live, what you'll drive, who you'll marry. If that's what you want, you think about what kind of work you'll do, what your career will be. Whatever your dream is, you think about what that's gonna look like. I was riding in my car the other day and I was just feeling good. I was feeling blessed. I was about to make this run and just dropped a portrait off to get framed, doing normal adult things. But I remember just feeling good, like this is your life and you chose it. It didn't happen to you. My life looks nothing like what I expected it to look like as a child. I expected to be wealthy and make all this money, and it's coming, okay? But I also thought I would have a specific career. I also thought I would be, married with kids by now. I also had a lot of thoughts about what things would look like, but what I didn't take into account was what the experience of choosing your life really would be like and how it feels to rebound from something that you thought would kill you at one point, how it feels to now be in a position where you can help other people going through transitions that rock their world. I started listening to that internal voice, that Holy Spirit, that intuition that was telling me what was right for me. And I started thinking about that and praising God for that. Had a full-fledged praise concert in the car. I'm talking about tears running down my face because I just felt joy. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you get to here, not directly to my place or my space in life, because that might not look like the right thing for you, but how do you get to a place where you're living and enjoying and really engaged in your life? I want to talk about the worst advice I ever got and how not taking it led me to this place. Real quick, just a quick side note. I have natural hair, obviously, and I have locks. These are micro locks. The ends of my hair are not fully locked yet, meaning that they're still got a little bit of a loose coil to them at the very bottom. I thought a spider had fallen on my thigh, and now, okay, I've tripped over several things. This all looks normal, right? This all looks like nothing changed, probably because I'm gonna cut that part out, obviously. Let's talk. Does anybody else have that problem? Does your own hair scare you? I made a fresh coffee, filled to the brim. Hush, don't judge me. Ooh, I hope coffee's in heaven. The number one worst pieces of advice I have ever received is fake it until you make it. I get it. There are some things that you have to kind of step into. I think about things like imposter syndrome, how you can convince yourself that you're not worthy of being in a room, in a position, in a place, in a space, and you have to step into that regardless. But I think to pretend that something doesn't exist, something that you are feeling doesn't exist, does a disservice to yourself and also limits the opportunity for other people to pour into you, to help you through, or for you to be transparent with your journey and help someone coming up behind you. You have to first be a student before you can be a teacher, before you can be a master. You have to go through the experiences of all the levels it takes to achieve mastery. Faking it until you make it puts you in a position to lie about what the experience really looks like. Social media is fake it till you make it all day. Social media is fake it until you try to make it and end up killing yourself. Not like literally killing yourself, although I think it probably could lead to that. But I'm talking about killing yourself trying to achieve something that you see because someone else decided to fake it. Faking it until you make it puts you in a position not to strive for potential, but for perfection. I don't subscribe to that. I'm not faking nothing. If I'm not enjoying the experience, if I'm having a hard time, it doesn't mean that I'm complaining. This is a part of the journey. This one might feel a bit more like a nursery rhyme. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. You will lie. I'm sorry. Somewhere my grandma is not happy with me. You're telling stories because that's not true. Words do matter and you need to use them wisely. It's biblical. The power of life and death is in the tongue. What you say to people matter. There are some folks who disguise being cruel and mean and hateful by being blunt and forward and real. No, you can be real and honest and truthful with respect. I believe I've shared this story more than once, so if this is an oldie, sorry. But I was going out for a promotion at my last position that I really, really wanted. And I remember sitting in the panel interview discussion, and I can't remember feeling more disrespected. I don't know that it was so much about me as it was that they had their own preconceived notions about what kind of person needed to be in the role. But there were two things that happened in that meeting that I will never forget. The first was our most senior person on that phone call was eating popcorn. I believe drinking like a soft drink while I was doing an interview. So that already set the tone for what they thought about me. And then two, I had the person that was going to be my boss's boss tell me that the qualities that she was looking for in that role, she wasn't sure I possessed. She could have stopped there because that was easy to receive. That's something that you can speak back to. But what she said was she wasn't sure if I was the right person for the job because she, quote, needed a pit bull and I'm a lamb. I can think of some other lambs historically, right? That really changed the world. I have never had to tell anyone what my power is, what my talents are. You can see them. And if you don't see them, it's because you're not looking. What you say matters. That moment stuck with me for the rest of my time there. You can say just about anything to someone if you do so respectfully. You can offer them the opportunity of your kindness and your truth. You don't have to cut people with your words. What you say lasts forever. I can think of people to this day, teachers especially from my childhood, who told me I was smart, who told me I was a leader. I had someone tell me that I was a leader in the 5th grade, and that is why she wanted me to be a little less loquacious, to stop telling so many jokes in class, because what I did, those students would follow. She didn't admonish me for being funny. Instead, what she did was told me about the power I had to help her. And because of the way she phrased it, I took it seriously. Instead of looking at me as someone who was a disruption, she had me believing that I was someone who could be a resource, someone who could help the teacher. And it completely changed the way I conducted myself in the classroom. What you say to people matters. That doesn't mean bite your tongue. That doesn't mean be sugary sweet when there are things that upset you. Speak up for yourself and be bold, but do so with respect. Talk to people like they're people. I'm treading lightly with this one because I understand why it was taught to me. I believe that there is a lot of relevance as to why it was taught to me. It did give me a good foundation, but it is not advice that I plan to give to the generations to come after me. You have to be twice as good. I know that a lot of us, people of color, I know that a lot of us, women, I know that a lot of us, people of color who also happen to be women, have been told that you have to be twice as good to get even half of the benefits of our counterparts. I don't want to carry that narrative on. I believe it's been detrimental to the mental health, the mental, the physical, and spiritual well-being of Black women, of Black people, of people of color. I believe that being twice as good has put us in a position to think that we might not actually be enough. And we are, just as we come. There are good apples and bad apples. There are those who want to work hard. There are those who are naturally lazy. I am a person of balance. I give fully to all of the things that are important in my life, including rest, including restoration, including recuperation, because I want to be excellent in all of the things that matter. I want to do well in the things that are given to me because life truly feels like a gift to me. So working hard is something that doesn't bother me. I embrace it because I want it to be its very best. It is in me to nurture. It is in me to grow. It is in me to build, to support, and to encourage. But I do know that it is also in me to compare, because I have been taught that I have to be twice as good. No, I only have to be the very best version of myself. It is me versus me every day. It is not me versus you. It is not me versus society, not carrying the weight, but rather the honor of the generations that came before me. I do not have to be twice as good as anything but who I was yesterday. It is me versus me every single day. I have work ethic because I've seen it. I have work ethic because I believe in it producing amazing things, because God has given me great gifts, and it is not for me to keep or to uphold or to be braggadocious about. What it's for is for the betterment of the community I am a part of. I understand my role. I understand my purpose. I am who I am regardless of what my job is that day, that year. I am who I am regardless if I'm up on a stage, on this YouTube channel, I am in church, in a pew. I am who I am everywhere, and I take that with me everywhere. I can't take off my skin tone. I am who I am because of who I am, not who I'm trying to beat, not who I am trying to compete with. I am who I am because of what has happened to my ancestors, and I live fully in honor of them. I take rest in honor of them and in honor of myself. Being twice as good as who you are when there is no one around, when there is no one watching, when the lights are out. I am not about competing and climbing this corporate ladder for the sake of trying to earn some type of respect or some type of treatment. I get that respect because that is who I am. And the spaces that want to fight me on that lose me. I am too talented, too special, too worthy to work every day of my life to prove my humanity. I am too special to work every day of my life to prove the fact that I deserve to be in the room. I create my room now. Twice as good. Only twice as good as you were yesterday. I decided to cut this video short because I think that there are some other pieces of advice that I'd like to kind of debunk or reject. And again, I recognize that in certain situations it makes sense. For certain generations, some of these things made sense and still work. But for who I am and for what I've moved through, I want to talk about some attitudes and things that I've taken on. And there are some folks who might not agree with the way that I see this advice, but I want to talk about the advice that I've gotten regarding church, religion, spirituality. Let's talk about that. Let's make this a series. Let's talk about that on the next video. Maybe after that, we can talk about relationships and the advice that I've gotten there, because although I try to avoid it, relationships are so important, not just the romantic ones, your friendships, your relationships at work, and of course, love and marriage and all of that. So I have some more that I want to share. So we're going to make this a series. I will see you next week on the next video. If you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed this video, if you're looking forward to the next, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I am glad that you're here. I hope you have the best day ever. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.